posting fairly good profits.
Kazi yako. Pipelines all over the world are not constructed with domestic resources. They're so lucrative that any lender will give you money. So it's up to you to go and organize.
Thank you. I think it's finished, Bill, basically. Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to look at why they are billing you incorrectly, Honorable Dawood and other. Okay, another consumers here.
Nominee, let me ask you a question or two. Kenya Power is a monopoly. In fact, the biggest monopoly in this country. And yet we keep on seeing stories that it is technically insolvent or has serious financial difficulties. If you find favor and become the CS, what are you going to do to ensure that this monopoly that has a stranglehold over every sector of life in Kenya, that collects money from everybody, some up front with prepaid meters, becomes profitable and pays a dividend to the treasury? Because it is a state company. Number two, and this follows what Rahim was saying, there is a lot of erratic billing by Kenya Power. Yours truly here has been a regular victim. They give you one bill of 28,000 in 1 month, the next month they give you 89,000. And it's the same consumption in the house. There is one time they gave me a bill, nominee, of 550,000 for a month, and they came and disconnected my power from the pole. And they're the only supplier, so you have to pay. What are you going to do about this? Then you had Mbalambala MP. A breakdown has taken 7 months without fixing. Will you consider, if you are confirmed, to sit with KPLC and give them strict timelines and schedules within which to respond to public needs? If there's a breakdown, it should not take more than a day, time allowing or not allowing 2 days, but 7 months is unacceptable. If you are confirmed, you know, we are giving, and the government has done very well for the last over 10 years. Schools have been connected with power in many parts of the country. But if you go to these schools, if you turn up as an MP, the first thing you are told is, we have not paid our electricity bill. Please help us to pay. Would you consider having an arrangement where schools and public institutions are charged subsidized rates so that they do not pay commercial rates like industries, factories, and other households? So that in some schools you go, there is power connection, but the only thing it's used is teachers charging their phones, nothing else. They cannot afford to use it for anything else. So if you can consider that. Lastly, if you are confirmed, you know, I was the first electricity regulator in this country, you remember? At that time, when we carried out a study, there was in the Southern Africa countries called the Southern Power Pool, where Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho, Swazi were all interconnected. So if there was a shortage of power in Zambia, it automatically flows in from the connection in the pool and vice versa. Would you consider working with your counterparts in the region to create a power pool for the East African countries, including Ethiopia that now has enormous capacity after the Renaissance Dam, so that we can, in times of straits like droughts, it automatically flows into Kenya, there is metering, and we pay for it?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will answer them in the reverse. And I agree with you. We have no option but join in the East Africa Power Pool. First, as a way of creating for our actors additional market, so that if we do what we are promising to do of increasing our installed capacity, then excess energy can find an outlet, Honorable Speaker. And in the converse, if we are short of energy for whatever reason, we can get energy from the neighboring countries within the pool easily into our national grid, Honorable Speaker. There are no two ways about it. The issue of possible subsidy for schools is a great idea in my view, Honorable Speaker, and it's an issue I may have to pursue and see to what extent it can be actualized. If and when we adopt it, it looks very revolutionary, because the schools are actually suffering a great deal in terms of struggling to pay these bills. And the issue of erratic billing by KPLC, which was clearly indicated earlier on by Honorable Dawood. The issue of KPLC profitability, despite being a monopoly. Honorable Speaker, I said from the outset that in my view, based on what I've seen on the desk, my desktop analysis, the KPLC would require nothing short of a business process reengineering. But then, if and when I get appointed eventually, I will have to have a sitting with the KPLC management and other players to dig deeply into the matter of KPLC. Yeah, so that when eventually we prescribe solutions, the solutions that will have long-lasting impact for the benefit of the people of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
I've sent a few questions. Some